Now that we have a good understanding of racism, let's examine what racism actually feels like to those impacted by prejudice and bias. Being treated differently or unfairly because of our race, skin color, or ethnicity can negatively affect one's mental health. That being said, racism can happen anywhere. It can happen at school, at work, or at home. It can happen online or outside. You only have to look at the news and social media to see this happening around you. It can even happen within families and relationships. Sometimes racist abuse is obvious. Verbal abuse about the way someone looks, stereotypes about how someone might behave, or physical violence and bullying are just some of the examples. However, sometimes racism is simply part of the structures and systems that we live in. Importantly, it must be said that sometimes racism is subtle and difficult for other people to detect or notice. Racism that operates undercover and below the radar can be referred to as microaggressive, a harmful and hurtful product of conscious and unconscious bias if left unchallenged. Okay, now let's take a look at conscious and unconscious bias. Microaggressions often grow out of conscious and unconscious bias, which are preconceived notions we have about people from specific subgroups, in some cases without even being aware that we think this way. Regrettably, microaggressions are often subjective. Not everyone who commits them sees the full range of implications and offense to what they are perpetuating. I just want to share a great quote that I found by Tori DeAngelis, and it is, "Microaggressions hold their power because they are invisible, and therefore they do not allow us to see that our actions and attitudes may be discriminatory." We will now take a closer look at racial and ethnic microaggression through a case study. However, before we get to the case studies, just want to draw your attention to some readings, um, which you can do on your own time that provide some additional information around microaggressions and unmasking racial microaggressions in society.